Hi, my name is Jessica, and this is my presentation on peer pressure and what it is, how many are affected, and how to overcome it. So, uh, peer pressure works in many different ways. What peer pressure may be is pressure to conform, and it can be definitely a powerful and hard thing to resist for many people, especially teens. A person might feel pressure to do something just because others are doing it or asking them to. This can influence a person to do something that is relatively harmless or something that can come into much more harsher consequences. So, statistically, 90% of the teens in this one study that I researched had reported being experiencing peer pressure at one point in time in their life. 28% reported that it gave them a boost in their social status, and 1/3 of people who are pill abusers reported that they were pressured their very first time into using pills. So there are several different ways, and our brain processes peer pressure as well as our decision making and our emotions involved in that. There is definitely a science to it. There's three main structures of the brain that are associated with peer pressure and how it's processed. The first one is the anterior cortex. This is located in the medial wall of the frontal lobe. This has an important interface between emotional regulation, sensing, and action. It has a strong reciprocal connections to many other parts of the brain, including the orbital frontal cortex, which is the next one I will talk about. This one is just above the eye sockets about kind of in the same area as the first cortex we had talked about. This is extensive connections with the sensory areas as well as the limbic structures involved with motion and memory. I believe that peer pressure has a very emotional part to it that people don't realize is very connected to how you remember what happened and what decision you do make. The last one is the ventromedial prefrontal cortex. This is the main hub in decision making and has been shown to be one of the main areas activated during the resting state. This part also processes the emotions of risk and fear. How many people are around you does affect the outcome of what decision you're going to make and how you're feeling. It says when it comes to the decision of making, our brain doesn't react the same manner as when we are by ourselves or when we're taking instruction from somebody else. As you can see in this little chart here, it does show that when you're by yourself, you get to make your own choices versus having one more person in the car with you or in the situation with you could increase your influence by 2.5%, and obviously just increasing that decision into making a bad decision or something that you don't feel comfortable with is increased. Having two or more people in there is 3 times more likely that you will be influenced by people around you. So overcoming peer pressure is I feel like a lot of people have a hard time with this, and there are some ways that people can kind of deal with it and process how they're supposed to be kind of working through these issues, especially when it comes to friends and family. It is hard to tell them no or speak your mind sometimes because a lot of people tend to want to not hurt someone's feelings or be a people pleaser. Some things you want to do is just pay attention to how you feel. Paying attention to your surroundings, if you can plan ahead. Speaking up is a huge factor. If you don't say, hey, you know what, I don't feel comfortable with that, then somebody else might not know that you do feel uncomfortable with it. Having a secret code to communicate with your friends and family, just in case of an emergency, or if you don't want to speak up in front of other people, you can, in fact, have that secret code to kind of signal somebody. Have friends and family with the similar values and beliefs is definitely a big factor as well in making sure that these are factors in your life that you keep in your circle or how you're feeling, so that you don't make those bad decisions that may uh, result in the bad circumstances. So again, that was my presentation. We talked about peer pressure and what it is, how your brain does process it, where it comes from, how to overcome it, as well as the statistics of how many people are affected by this. I do really hope that if any of you are feeling peer pressure from anybody in your life, that you will step out and speak up. It may be an uncomfortable situation, but having that plan and speaking your mind and following how you feel can maybe save your life as well as somebody else's, and can really stop people from making those bad decisions that somebody may have. I really hope that some of you do have that support. If you don't, then I'm sure reaching out to somebody a teacher, anybody like that, can make that possible, and having that main support group for somebody who is experiencing peer pressure and doesn't know how to handle it. Thank you.